without further ado, let us get into our first game here of BSL ChoboLeague. And like all the games before it, of course, it is on Circuit Breaker, and here we go into game one. Alright, so spawning in the top left-hand corner as our red Terran, we have, I believe, Napoleon, but I lost my overlay because it keeps doing, yeah, we have Napoleon. And of course, on the right side, as our white Zerg, we have Ultra, who, if I'm not completely mistaken, is a race picker that plays ZVT instead of TVT. I'm pretty sure his icon is Terran, like on TLPD and stuff. So they will be duking it out here on Circuit Breaker. Of course, this is game number one of this set, and we will just have to see what they are looking for as builds. I think of both of them as reasonably standard players. I don't think either of them have a massive rap for being particularly cheesy. Of course, Ultra is a South American player, and they do tend to have a rap for liking to do more aggressive builds than other players, but I am not expecting to see like 4 pools and 5 pools and those kind of builds too much here. Oh, someone's saying it's not Chilean Ultra. Okay, so it is a different Ultra. I guess he's just Ultraling, so that makes him a different player. And that also would square away, because I believe the main Ultra would definitely be a candidate to make it into BSL Pro League. Well, let's see here. We have a gas trick for Ultraling and a pretty fast drone going out here. I would assume to scout, or maybe some proxy hatch craziness, but kinda don't expect to see that. And we are just gonna 12 hatch, so it's like 10 gas trick for a faster scout, and then a 12 hatch here from Ultraling. And then we got the barracks from Napoleon, and will he take gas? Doesn't look like it, so probably we're going to see some sort of barracks expand, especially since there's not a second Rax here. And in comes the drone, getting a hit down, but on the wrong SCV here, not really accomplishing any harass yet. Saving up for his pool. He's going to make a pool pretty fast here on 11, so not the optimized per scan build that was posted a while back that's used for this kind of the strongest eco if you're confident you're not going to get rushed. And we're going to get a very quick gas right after this pool. That also explains it if this is going to be more of a 2-hatch oriented play. And of course the drone has seen most of what it wants to see. It will sacrifice itself in order to see that, but he observed the no gas. He saw that it was 1 Rax. Terran SCV just now coming to the base, so he's going to be able to come down here and get his expansion up and be looking stable here for this mid game. Now let's see if there's going to be a 3rd hatch placed here. I don't think so, but you never know. SCV is coming on in, gets a hit off on it, but he's not going to try or be able to block that SCV, so Ultraling, or Napoleon, will get a nice full scout off here of exactly what it is that Ultra is up to. And we got 3 Marines coming out here, making a 4th. Now, is he going to push across the map? Well, he's definitely going to poke out a bit. And there is nothing sitting here at the front for Ultra, so he's going to need to notice this. Now, there are some Lings on the way. Now, are there 3 pairs? Yeah, there are 3 pairs of Lings. So that should result in Napoleon turning around the second his SCV sees that. Although he's being very aggressive with this, and if he gets any more aggressive with this, he's just going to sui his Marines into 6 Lings, because we all know 6 Lings easily beats... Okay, and he wisely turns around. Playing that very close, though. He'll just barely get back, but any longer, and that would have been trouble. Oh, now, okay, now we're just trying to do some blocking with the Lings. Now, with 5 Lings, there's good control here from Ultra, he should be able to deny this SCV from getting back in the base, and of course his speed is coming up here pretty soon, so he's going to deny him from knowing what the tech path is. It appears, well, no, we still have a point where we'll be making a decision. If we're going to go 2-hatch lurk, we'll need to have that den going down here shortly, but it is going to be a 2-hatch lurker play, so the SCV is denied, and this is going to be a big deal now for Napoleon, because he has to figure this out. And if he doesn't figure it out in time and get a couple bunkers up at the front with maybe a turret for spotting, he's absolutely just going to get walked over by Lurker Ling here from Ultraling, which is a bit of a lie to his name, but sometimes that's how it goes. I would like to see a Spotterling here from Ultraling just to further deny the scouting and notice the SCV coming in, but with his Lings chilling right here at home, that's not so bad. And of course, we can see that Napoleon doesn't have an SCV out on the map. Lurkers are started. Lots of links coming across the map. Nice tight wall here. I think this, as big as this looks, I'm pretty sure this is gapped up because I believe this sticks out to right here, which makes it this wall on top of Depot. We'll find out for sure when the Lings run at this. But yeah, looks safe for the moment. But if he just has one bunker, he's not going to stay safe. And now the Lings are circling back, trying to run to the main, and they have a path, but it pulls them free, and he's going in for a very aggressive surround here on these Marines. He's definitely going to pick off a few of the Marines. He's not going to be able to get the bunker, and honestly, that isn't terrible defense from Napoleon. Loses most of those Lings. Now, the 3 Marine kills are relevant. Reducing the Marine count does help, but the bigger issue here with these coming Lurkers soon is going to be the bunkers themselves. So now these Lings are going to run around. Killing some gas SCVs is going to be annoying. We can see we're still a ways away from range here. And, he's going to get these 2 Marines. Okay, no, he judges it just right. eBay only just now starting. And the Hydras are out. And remember, he's this is really surprising to me. I know he wants Academy, but he's in the dark here. He has definitively not scouted Zerg's tech path, and so the choice to delay scanners in favor of SCVs, having no idea what's going on, is an interesting one to me. And we know he's done this for a while because he's already researched STIM, and if he loses this game, it's going to be in large part due to this. And let's face it, there are Lurkers morphing right now as we speak. He is sitting on 1 bunker. He can build turrets. He's getting +1, which is great. But he's building turrets. Well, this is not a very lurkery looking turret. Let's just leave it at that. So I'm feeling pretty worried here for Napoleon. This may have been a bit of a blunder from him, but we'll see if he can pull off some crazy defense or get Ultraling to bungle it. Well, now he knows. And that second bunker is going down. Will it be down in time? I'm just going to say it. It doesn't look good. We've got 3 Lurkers here. Now, if there were 5 or 6, I would say no, he's just dead. But here come the Lurkers inching forward. They can definitely pick off this bunker, too. He's chosen to build it out in front of the other bunker. Now, he's not going to run in here like a crazy man, and that actually is going to allow enough time for the second bunker to finish, and that's a big deal here. Ultraling with a little bit of hesitation, and with 2 bunkers up, he's got a much better chance to survive this. He's getting up the turret, so he doesn't have to burn his scans. He can see the Lurkers, although the Lurkers ought to be able to burrow and snipe this bunker outside of vision. Of course, we do have a scan banked, and we're getting closer to another scan. More Lurkers continuing to pour in. It'll be a while till there's a sufficient Marine mass to fight this. And let's see how Ultraling plays it. All right, he's just going to go for it. And this is an interesting way. I'm surprised he didn't attack the lower bunker first, but all the Marines died. Napoleon a little slow with the reaction time. Bunker's getting attacked, but is it enough to target fire down that bunker? The answer is no. The Lurker's getting thin now, and Napoleon pulls back, and that leaves just 1 Lurker. That is encouraging for Napoleon, as with these lower Lurker numbers, no longer scary now. Another Lurker is being rallied up. The scan, actually, this one can be hit by the bunker down here. Gets those 2 buried. Neither of them snipe, but they are getting softened up. Marines are out now. We need some medics, and he is hatching medics, and he's going fast for that tank to the starport. Napoleon doing a very good job here in the main, staying calm, just getting his tech up as fast as possible. And obviously we can see by the constant stream of units that Ultraling is taking this completely all in, but it doesn't look like he has the Lurker count now. This bunker is, of course, rebuilt. He couldn't bust it with 4. I don't think he's going to bust it with 2, and things are starting to look up here for Ultraling, barring a massive blunder. He stayed very calm. He's almost got a tank out. His vessel's about to finish. 1 Marine's going to do some acrobatics, and Lurkers inch forward, so he's keeping him contained. There's no hive, nothing crazy coming behind this. In fact, he didn't even take the second gas. I didn't realize that, so he can't even make that many Lurkers, so this is pretty bad for Ultraling. He's looking pretty dead. 2 drones at the natural, like 6 in the main. He's about double supplied. The tank is even out now, and it's wisely positioned on the high ground. So it looks like at this point a solid defense for Napoleon. He is going to get away with that delayed scanner thing. Ultraling just a bit too hesitant here. About to have a vessel started. And I don't actually understand Ultraling's play. He's kind of just burrowing these Lurkers. But with 1 gas, he can't even make Lurkers in any sort of reasonable number. All right, well, he's going to run at it. And this is going to obviously fail. And we're going to see GG. Napoleon will take game 1 and be cruising on into the, well, second game. So yeah, there we go. Scan goes down. That Lurker's dead. And there it is. GG is called. And Napoleon with a confident first game victory there. Making it look easy. I don't know, I think Ultraling had a window, but I think attacking that top bunker with both bunkers in range was silly. He could attack the bottom bunker with only one bunker in range and without the turret and force scans to burn. And if he would have killed that bunker off efficiently, you know, then something maybe could have happened. But he chose a weird attack path, among other things. But alright, we're going to go into game number 2, and after receiving an absolutely brutal drumming, can Ultraling change the tide here and get himself back into this game? I wish I understood what controls these displays here. They're always different, and like it just decides randomly, okay, these are the displays they're going to open. It doesn't matter like your previous settings. Anyway, in the top right-hand corner, as the blue Zerg, we have Ultraling, and in the bottom left-hand corner, as the teal Terran, we have Napoleon, who is up 1-0 here. So we'll see what Napoleon can do, what Ultraling can do. Can Ultraling figure something out to beat Napoleon's ironclad defense as it was in Game 1? Even with the late scout, Napoleon able to hold that off. You know, so that makes me think there's a pretty significant difference in these players. I mean, because there's one of two possibilities here. Number one is that Ultraling is an all-in type player, and he just likes to do all-ins. In which case, you have to wonder about his execution. If Napoleon was that much better than him in execution, and he just effortlessly holds even with a very late scout, that doesn't bode well for Ultraling. Or the other possibility is he's just not confident enough. He thinks Napoleon is that much of a better player that he needed to do something aggressive. And if that's the case, either way, both are concerning psychological or physical skill issues for Ultraling. But who knows? It also could have just been a bad game. That happens to people from time to time. So let's see, we are getting Overlord here. And a few more drones. Yes, alright. And the barracks going up here, looking to have some sort of a wall here at his natural. This will, of course, be tight. Now, the depot below it or left of it will not be Ling tight, but it'll be wall-ish. If you wanted a tight wall, the barracks would need to be here, and then a depot, and then another depot. Depots on top of anything is always tight. So we get the hatch, pretty typical, and we're going to, again, go for the 11 pool. We'll just have to watch that gas timing. Drone's going to come on in here. Sees the gas, that makes sense. We saw the wall. So now we're going to see, we got a few options. Could be Wraiths, could be Mech, could be 1-1-1, all kinds of possibilities. Now, is he going to immediately jump on that gas, or is this going to be more of a macro-oriented 3-hatch opening? Right now it looks like a more 3-hatch style opening. A little bit of harass here on this drone. Oh, actually getting trapped and killed by both SCVs. Now, Ultraling did jump in here. He did see the gas, so this is not like the end of the world. But, ideally you'd like to keep your drone a bit longer. Try to get some sense of what's going on. You're not really going to get to see that because by the time the factory started, Marine's going to be out. It will chase the drone away. You're not going to ever see the starport or the double starports or anything that would be a tell for what's coming on here. Now we see Ultraling 14 supply, going to throw down that hatchery. So he is moving into a little bit more of at least a macro-looking opening. Lots of ways to play from there, but... Alright, hatch goes down. Oh, okay, I was wondering if this drone was going to make something really fast. Alright, getting a little drone transfer over here to the natural. We see the factory going up, that's totally expected. And an SCV coming down here to... Well, it certainly looks suspicious, like an SCV that wants to build a command center. Now, this Overlord's not going to die. Not going to die at all. Of course, Napoleon has the SCV alive in the base, so he knows for right now there haven't been any Marines. It's safe for him to just kind of take these guys out and go hunting for this Overlord. And now a few Lings are out for Ultraling. Gonna chase... Oh, Napoleon. Very sloppy with his SCV there. His attention was elsewhere. And he loses that SCV, and that makes him a little less comfortable because now he's not scouting around the base. He doesn't know what Ultraling is making. For all he knows, Ultraling is going to start spamming Zerglings right now. And that requires a very different response than if Ultraling decides to just play a standard macro game. And so that not knowing makes you a little bit more comfortable, a little more in the dark. We have a Vulture, and okay, we have 2-port Wraith. This SCV here, I was wondering if it was going to be Command Center and going into 1-1-1 type play, but nope, that SCV is just a tease. So we're going to have a Vulture, and then we're going to have 2-starport Reisu. Going to add the control tower over here. And yeah, alright, so we got a creep colony being added. We're going to layer, as things look fairly normal, should have some Ling speed. Okay. Skipping Ling speed, huh? Well, alright. Oh, he's trying to hide these, but Napoleon is all over this. And without Ling speed, it's going to be very easy, of course, to micro this Vulture against this. So Lings are going to try to run by here. Wall is lifted, but there are 3 Marines, so that's not going to matter. Gets no hits off on the Vulture. This Ling will die immediately. So gets 0 intel out of this. Does not get anywhere near the same county as those starports with those Lings. But good effort here for Ultraling. Now the Vulture coming across. The Hydra Den is out. So it looks like a 3-hatch Lurker opening. Nothing wrong with Lurkers. Lurkers can actually be a bit scary against Wraith play, especially if you can get them across the map. There aren't usually going to be a lot of scans. You're on one base. But depending on what he makes and what he researches, of course, he's going to have no-ups Hydras. So that's going to make defending the Wraiths a little bit more difficult. He knows about them now. He'll probably spore up, but if he doesn't spore up, he's going to need to position his Hydras and Overlords very, very carefully here. Or else they are just going to get picked to pieces. He's definitely going to lose at least another one here. He was a little slow to pull that guy back, and this Wraith should just be able to micro around the backside here and ensure that this Overlord dies. In fact, he might not even have... Yeah, there we go. So, unfortunately, slow reactions here, costing Ultraling and Overlord and a second Wraith into the main here to harass. He's obviously going to stick to Lurkers. That is his tech route. Another Overlord here popping. And yeah, these Wraiths are just in a fascinatingly annoying position right now, able to bang away at drones in 2 locations, and more are on the way, and of course Cloak also on the way. So we'll see how Napoleon's Wraith Micro looks, but this looks to be a rough start here for Ultraling, to say the least. He's got a couple Hydra out, but of course now he has to make more Hydra than he wants to make. That's going to cost him a little gas. He's already lost 2 Overlords, a couple drones. And the Wraith mass is only increasing. Now he is trying to position. He still has no Hydra in the main, though, along with a lot of Sloverlords that are all very vulnerable. Once this Wraith count gets up to 4, 5, 6, it's going to become very annoying. And it looks like he's going to respond to this by, well, counterattacking. That is one way to get Wraiths away from your doorstep. And it is a bit scary because there's actually not a ramp bunker here right now for Napoleon. Now, Napoleon is going to know about it right now. And I assume that's going to trigger a bunker from him because he has not built a tank behind this, and he has not built any scanners, so this is a bit of a dangerous situation here for Napoleon. He's trying to more or less massage his Wraiths around these Hydralisks, and of course the anti-air part of the Wraith is great, but a decent number of Hydras in a forced fight can easily pick this off. Now Napoleon is going to circle around here and try to get some kills, but now all the Overlords are congregated here, but this one is pretty snipeable, so if he snipes this Overlord and just goes in, he can just go in for the drones. We'll see if he does it. At the moment he's not, and actually it looks like Ultraling is not committing to this full counter, so the Overlord's going to go down pretty fast. And now the Cloaked Wraiths just in here, and of course new Overlords are making, and it's going to be a long time, so drones are being barbecued here. Actually, barbecued maybe is not the right word for race, but drones are being picked off. Oh, now this is a dangerous spot to sit, because once this Overlord draws itself up, but now these Overlords here also in a vulnerable position, and he is going to circle around the backfield just out of vision of those Overlords. Nice micro here from Napoleon. We are going to have a counter to the front here, swinging around with the burrowed Lurkers. Now the bunker is not there. This is incredibly dangerous. You know, I would have thought with the units something would have happened, but there's no comsat. I think Napoleon might have just ruined himself here. Ultraling is going to take some damage, but we got 4 burrowed Lurkers, and not so much as a bunker. He's going to have to pick them off before they get close to his vital structures, but he doesn't have the Wraiths to pick them off. There's no way to stop these Lurkers. Not enough Marines either. I mean, if he got a turret up, it would be helpful, but that turret is not going to finish. It's well in range of the Lurkers, and I mean, let's face it, mining is shut down. These Wraiths are going to need to basically completely shut down Napoleon's mining, and even then, it's still very little he can do. A massive oversight here, and I'm really surprised by this because he saw the Hydra Den. He saw Hydras in the middle of the map. He knew they hadn't turned around, and he just didn't make a bunker. So, yeah, I don't know. These, some interesting errors by Napoleon here. He would look to be in a pretty good position here, but now he's obviously looking to be very dead. I mean, he's got a comsat, he's got 1 scan, but I don't think Rays are going to clear the Lurkers fast enough. Let's see how many he can clear out. I mean, if he can possibly clear out all the Lurkers and stabilize, but he can't. So now he's got to wait ages, and he's going to lose all the... Oh, actually... Oh, so close, but so far away. Can't save his SCVs. His economy is in absolute tatters now. Lings are being rallied in. Of course, the Lings are free to hunt the SCVs. The Wraiths can do a little bit. Oh, he's actually trying to get the comsat. He's trying to get a turret up here. Is he actually going to get a turret up? I don't think it'll let him see this lurker, though, because the lurker's not attacking the SCV. If it does, that's awesome. Well, he's got one more scan, so he clears out his mining area. And if he comes back from this, this is going to be amazing. There's nothing rallied across the map, so he actually is going to clear this. But there will be another wave coming to hit soon, and the guy needs to build a bunker at his ramp and get a turret there. Like, you have to have that. You have to, but he barely has enough money. His economy is badly hurt. I mean, let's take a look here at the drone saturation. Obviously, he killed a lot of drones, but it's at least equal drones to SCVs here. We've got 9 SCVs mining it, so there are more drones, and there are gas drones as well, so probably almost twice the economy, or 50% more economy for Ultraling here in this game. Still has to wait on this scan to clear this pesky... Oh no, it's gonna... Oh no! Napoleon! Napoleon wasn't looking at his comsat, it just burned out. Well, he's got a bunker, but you know what he doesn't have? Any scans. And this is a genius lurker, by the way, because it's completely fucking up any attempt to build a turret, and his scanner just died. Now, sometimes there are situations where it's actually faster to kill your scanner and rebuild it, but that's not what he was doing. He was not killing the scanner. He is about to get a scan, but it's going to be too late because there's not a turret, and all this is going to arrive. Oh, man, no. Let's see. Ultraling might wait like a second. Now, are there even Marines in this? No, if there are Marines in it, it would help. Oh, he's going for a run-by, though. That's really risky. He's going to get a lurker in, though, so it's going to pay off. And, of course, the bunker is ungarrisoned, so nothing to do against these Hydra. More mining time being forced away. Now, the Overlords are being picked off, so that's nice. The Wraiths can cloak and fight the Hydra, which is actually very good, and that will shut down this attack. But horrible amounts of lost mining time. And what is he doing behind? Oh, he has to remake a lot of Overlords. Has he gotten in any? Actually, he has gotten in a few drones. So Ultraling is gradually building up a bit of economy. Now he's about out of units right now. So this game is actually going to stabilize here, and we'll see where it's at. These Rays are going to have a chance to counter harass now because this is stabilized. He does probably need to bring something back to deal with this lurker. Like, make a tank, man. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, never mind. Alright, we're cool. We cool. Oh. This SCV's not repairing. If he loses his command center while he's microing his wraiths. Although he's... Oh, wow! Okay, so, that's a bit of an oversight by Ultraling. This game is just all over the place right now. Okay, he does repair his command center, so at least there's that. But this... Oh, he's got speed done for his Overlord, so that's good. But his economy is now completely wrecked, so both players have trashed economies. In fact, well, Ultraling actually has left enough money to rebuild drones. Oh no, he's suiciding his race, though. He definitely needs to keep those alive without a shadow of a doubt. Now the bunker... Oh, wow, okay, he got stim out or something. No? Yeah, he did. Where's it? He got stim out for his Marines, so he was then able to clear that lurker. Wow. So we got, what, 3 drones for Zerg now? 4 drones? And we got, like, 5... 6S. Okay, well, Napoleon definitely has the better economy now. He has a bunker. He needs a turret at the front. His barracks is going to burn down. His factory is maybe going to burn down. Okay, we got the Wraiths still flying around, still looking for drones. Trying to catch a pickoff. Now, the Wraiths did not get any drones there. They were trying to, but Napoleon is running around like a maniac, or Ultraling is running around like a maniac, trying to prevent this. All right, Napoleon moves in. He's going to get at least 1 out of this. Oh, he ran to what I think is maybe the wrong side of the minerals. He tries to go for 2, doesn't get it, wisely backs away. And, of course, every time this happens, very, very painful to the economy of Ultraling. Going to go bang at the hatchery. That's annoying because it is going to force Hydras into the natural. Or, I guess, around the top. Let's see how quickly he reacts. Oh, these Overlords, though! Every little mistake here is such a big deal for Ultraling. He's on such a terrible economy. And, honestly, the game looks pretty damn good for Napoleon now. After switching back and forth about 4 times... even a few drones not mining here, which with this frail of an economy is a big deal. What? Okay, so a Ling actually just kind of casually sneaks in here. But SCV is able to pick it off. And the Wraiths are actually just banging away at the hatchery, forcing these Hydras to run all over the place. He's eventually going to get close to a natural hatchery kill here, with the way these Hydras have to run, and it's very awkward for Ultraling because he can't afford to make any Hydras, and he doesn't really want to risk splitting. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. That is probably going to do it. There it is. GG. Snipes the 3 Overlords. Detection is lost, and in the end, Napoleon proves to be far too strong. Game got interesting. It was weird they didn't get a bunker and a turret up, But in the end, it is Napoleon who is a dominant 2-0 victor right there over Ultraling. So that a solid win there, and that will be taking us into the match of Fishy, who walked over Wing Zero, against Napoleon. So we are going to have some PvT here. Alright, let's see. Napoleon versus Fishy. Game number 1. Alright, so spawning in the bottom left-hand position as our purple Protoss, we have Fishy. And in the top left-hand position of the map as our orange Zerg, we have Napoleon. Ah, okay, so Napoleon is a race picker here. He is dodging TVP. That is very interesting. That is a very interesting dodge. I do remember that from past days. So he dodges TVP and plays ZVP instead. Probe finishing up here for Fishy. And of course out here to build Le Pylon. Beautiful timing of that probe. What? He's not gonna scout with his first probe. Alright, that is very interesting. Interesting decision. So he's either gonna play this very ballsy and just drop a Nexus quickly without like cannons and say, you know what, I'm going for it. Or he's gonna have to blindly build cannons. Like, you save money by not scouting, but by not scouting, you can't see what Zerg is doing, which usually means you either have to play risky or just build blind cannons, which then resets that economy. Thank you so much for following, always appreciated. And then resets that economy. Mr. Alezi99, thank you. So yeah, resets that economy and isn't really worth it. So let's see how he plays it. Now he did get lucky and scout the first time. Now if that happens, 100% nice for Fishy. No loss of economy, still scouts at its 12th hatch before he has to make any decision. He can go straight to a Nexus, and of course he saved economy not scouting with that 8 probe. So this is as good of a situation as Fishy could hope to have. And actually, this is something I want to talk about too. This Overlord here, notice it went this way, guys. That's unusual for Zerg, right? Normally Zerg just scouts straight to the closest natural, which is this way. And that allows... Oh, this is so annoying. Okay, yeah, this is really awkward to deal with. You can't just glitch... Oh, actually, I guess it either doesn't work at this position or Fishy's messed it up. And that's a triple pylon. What? So yeah, what you have to do is you actually have to try to make drones and cancel them and slide them over this way to get into this cannon, but usually you can't actually attack here. Oh, who's gonna win this fight? Oh, the probe's gonna get a drone kill out of this, though. Oh, whoa! Whoa! I did not know that was possible. Holy shit. Holy shit. They actually double killed each other. I did not know they had those kind of attacks. I guess they're technically ranged, but the synchronization of that attacks had to be so good. Like, take 2 Hydras and have them shoot or something like that and try to have them... Like, it's so hard to get a double kill, and for 1 range units, that's pretty crazy. So it did cost him quite a bit in terms of pylons, but that was a lot of disruption. He killed a drone. He forced, for whatever, he forced a few extractor cancels. I feel like that was decent for Fishy, just the threat of this possible cannon. Now, normally this is a very tight wall, so it's a very annoying cannon rush, but perhaps either not quite done right or not as possible here at this position. Alright, so we have the cannon going up for Fishy now, of course, and the Lings are out, and they are focusing on the pylon, so that's going to give him plenty of time. It's obviously going to throw Fishy back to the supply block era, and okay. It's also going to have the Lings out of position, so the probe is going to be able to run on into the main, going to tag a Ling on it, but that should not do anything to kill that probe. And so that probe is just going to run around. For the time being, it's going to see the gas timing. We can see the 3rd hatchery here from Napoleon. And Overlord comes in, getting a look at that Nexus. We have a transfer. We have the Cyber Core up here. It's a pretty delayed Cyber Core. Not really a huge surprise because we were building a bunch of pylons down here. But the tech timing is certainly not super fast here for Fishy. Normally you'd expect to see a Stargate starting right about now, and we're only about half Cybercore, 3/4 Cybercore, whatever. This pylon's slowing everything down just a smidge. It's like killing an SCV for OBS. Killing an SCV for OBS. I'm trying to think of what the context is for this. But I'm not positive. I kind of like this. It's very nice. Probe commonly runs behind the mineral, so he's leaving a Ling here to sort of mess that up. But alright, looks like Fishy's going to come out here. He's going to take a look at the natural. Going to see that 4th hatchery. Probably going to go look for that 5th hatchery. And it's a bit of an interesting build here because Napoleon he's mining gas. But he's not made... Okay, he did just make a Hydra Den. So he's going to do like a 4 or 5 hatch. Well, he's doing like... He did like 3 hatch with gas, but without a spire. So he's going to go into like a quick 4 or 5 hatcheries and play Hydra off this. It looks like it's maybe going to be 4 hatch Hydra. I can't tell yet if he's going to place a 5th hatchery. He has the money, so he's going to place 5 hatch. So it's like 5 hatch skipping layer, but a lot of times you'd see this as 4 or 5 hatch no gas. Alright, so he's going to have to pull some drones here. Good micro so far, though, from Napoleon. Although, decent micro with these Zealots, but they've been softened up. And getting a drone kill is definitely good. And then this Zealot is going to waltz on into the main. We've got Corsair coming and the Citadel on the way as well here. So we're going to have our tech coming online for Protoss. And a Zealot finds a really annoying place behind the minerals. Now, okay, well, never mind. There's 4 Lings here, so that's good. Should be able to take care of that Zealot pretty well. Does get another Ling kill. So 2 or 3 Lings, a few drones. That's not bad for 2 Zealots. Reasonably even trade from Fishy. Does throw away some of his early aggression. And interestingly... With that, okay, oh, never mind. He's getting an archive, so yeah, I was going to say his plan is probably just to get Templar. If you were looking to do like a really powerful Zealot timing, perhaps throwing away 2 or 3 Zealots for a drone kill is not going to be the greatest. But since his plan is just to go straight into Templar now against this, that's not a big issue, especially since he did do some economic damage with that. And trying to bang away on these Overlords, but there are Hydra out, so that's easily going to chase away 1 Corsair. Count's not that high. Should come back and pick off that Overlord, having gotten off yet another scout. Oh, is he just going to fly by? Okay, there we go. So this Overlord will die. And a bunch of Overlords popping here for Napoleon. I guess that's fine, though, because he's about to lose one of them. He's going to need them pretty soon. Second cannon goes up here for... Fishy, you'll pretty much always need a few extra cannons against this kind of fast Hydra play. And actually, wow, Napoleon is able to afford a 6 hatchery. He is at about a drone per patch. Maybe a slight bit of oversaturation. Yeah, just a little bit of oversaturation in the main. Could probably shuffle 1 drone off to like this base, 1 or 2 drones down to here for like optimum saturation. Hydra speed coming out. Now there, yeah, we should be having Overlord speed here. And then we're going to have some aggression. We got 2 DTs. 2 DTs, huh? Well, no Overlord coverage here. Is that... Oh, okay. Yes, an Overlord's being made. That's good. But there are a lot of Corsairs. Very easy to snipe an Overlord if he's out of position. And these DTs might do a little bit of damage here. Speed, I think, will not be done. It will not. Alright, so we are adding an Evo Chamber. But there's only 1 Hydra here. Yeah, he's going to commit to this Overlord for sure. That should tell him now. The Overlords are close. Oh, the reaction is slow, though. So the Overlord dies, and the path is now open for this DT, although... Oh, what? No! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's a big oversight. Well, let's see how quick he reacts. I mean, he should be paying attention to this. Oh my gosh. Well, he's busy microing against the Corsairs, and the DT is going to get, what, 5 or 6 kills? So the beautiful distraction there by Napoleon. He doesn't lose a Corsair. Notice that the drones are running around, but the DT is going to go hunt them and get at least... Oh no, he walks past it. He sends them back to mine. He must have an Overlord or something popping. He's actually doing some nice body blocking with the Hydras, but that's a bit of a pain to his economy. And now, did he just slip a DT in the main? Oh my god, he did. A DT has slipped in. He knows about it, but this is becoming very disruptive, and we're adding up to a significant number of drone kills here. These ones don't even run away. There's a drone here. Now, Overlord speed is done, so that should put an end to just how annoying these DTs can be, and he's going to try to sneak it around the base, but... Napoleon is on to this, but that is a 7-kill Dark Templar. The other Dark Templar had, what, about 6 or 7 kills, so a lot of damage between those 2 DTs with just a few Corsairs. Fishy managing to find some very nice openings, massaging those DTs right into those openings, and painfully delaying Napoleon here. His +1 is about done. He's got storms on these DTs, or on these High Templars. I would hope he's got a lot of gateways. Wants to play very aggressive from here. He's got 8 gates. He's getting his Robo up. We got 4 High Templars, all with plenty of storm. Alright, so Corsairs are seeing that Napoleon just wants to expand now. He's getting his missile attacks. A bit sloppy here by Fishy, almost losing a Corsair. Continuing to gather some intel. Remember, Overlord speed is done, so with 2 Corsairs, you're not really going to be assassinating Overlords or causing any problems. There's a decent number of Hydra out on the field, so that is all good. And just kind of scanning, sweeping around here with the Hydra, and it looks like Fishy's going to move over and take his 3rd base. Interesting then, he got 8 gateways. Probably a little excessive. This counterattack from the Hydras is kind of interesting here. Oh, but it's going to get a good Templar snipe, but he'll probably lose if... Actually, no, he gets out of the bridges very cleanly. Well, alright, walk in and get a Templar snipe out of that. That's pretty good, if you don't take any other losses. It looks like now Fishy's going to pressure this, but coming across the bridges is going to allow these Hydra to be a bit more efficient, and these High Templar are very exposed. We'll see if Napoleon opts to... Yes, he does. He's going to spin around. A nice assassination there. I think he wants the other Templar too, and he's going to get it. Fishy's Templar control here a bit lacking. Does give away some of his Hydra, but when you get 3 or 4 Templar for 8 Hydra, 10 Hydra, that's a pretty good deal, and I think we can safely assume this attack is not going... Well, actually, with 2 Rallied Templar, there's a possibility, but most of these Zealots coming across the bridges, getting melted, it's going to rely on some really, really subpar storm dodging here from Napoleon, and I think Fishy's realizing this, and he's turning back around for the moment now. Napoleon definitely needs to stay on the Hydra with 8 gates of production here. Okay, that storm's basically a whiff. That storm is actually a very good storm. Hits a lot of the Hydra, but of course these Templar are now the lagging Templar now. A lot of reinforcements, they need to rally in here, and Napoleon wants to get on top of these Templar and pick them off, and so far he hasn't been able to do so, but he is going to force an Archon meld, and he is getting rid of most of the Templar. Now he's about 30 supply behind. We can see 3rd base here goes up for Fishy. And full swing Hydra production. Do we have a Lurker upgrade in the works? No sign of it yet, which will become an issue because 8 gates. It's a large Protoss mass. You know, you can deal with kind of 1, 2, sometimes 3 groups of Protoss with mass Hydra, but Protoss starts getting up to that 4 control group army with you know, 4 to 6 Templar in it with several storms each, and it's too much area to fight over, especially as goons get in your Hydra lineup. And I mean, you have to be just a literal god, a larva, or an effort to even have a chance. And the Lurker upgrade just becomes essential here. So I hope we're gonna see that sometime soon here, or we're gonna need to see some crazy micro from Napoleon. He's not at the kind of advantage where I would expect him to be able to run over Protoss, and certainly not at the kind of advantage where he can run over Protoss up a choke like this. Now he's going to try to come around from both sides, but this is going to be kind of awkward because a lot of these Hydra aren't fighting here. But if he swings around here, picks out these cannons, that'll be annoying. It's going to force Fishy into this awkward situation where he has to run around from both sides, and he's doing a pretty good job with his army right now. Fishy's scrambling to get back in place. He's out of storms, though, so this isn't probably the best fight for him to pick now. He is gradually donating units here, and Napoleon seems to be getting the better of Fishy here with the multitask, but now he's lost his multi-front attack, and more units are being rallied and should finish off these Hydra here. Gonna chase them off the high ground, continuing to rally in Hydras. Now he is building his economy as this happens, and we can see that attack was very efficient for Napoleon. He closed the supply gap a little bit, but at the same time, we have a drop here with a DT going ham on these drones, and it doesn't look like Napoleon knows about it. Because, well, there's no pull of any of his units right now, and so okay, now he pulls it, but look at that damage. That was 11, make that 12 kills on that DT, but the Hydra have found a bit of a gap, and the army for Fishy is kind of misrallied and not that large, and the Hydra are in the natural, unbeknownst to Fishy here for the moment, killing some probes, forcing a probe pull. Those should turn around pretty soon here. Oh, that's a bit slow to turn around on those probes. And in Napoleon, yeah, I don't think he can come across there in pressure. Not a drop here. But every time you see that, you got to wonder. So an Overlord there's going to walk in and die. Now he's got... Well, he doesn't actually have any storm... Okay, he's got storms there. Alright, so a storm goes down on those Hydra. Should force them back. This is not enough, so Fishy's going to have to back it up here. And despite the economic damage that Fishy has dealt, he's having a hard time getting his army together. And these Hydra are being very efficient because this, again, this is kind of Hydra fighting 1 or 2 control group Protoss, which is usually pretty efficient, although finally Napoleon is looking away and eats some major storms, perhaps because of the Zealot harass over here at this base, as Zealots are creeping in. So Fishy is doing a very good job distracting with these small groups of units he's sent out. And the other important thing to realize, oh my gosh, that's what, three drone kills, 4 drone kills, forcing a run. Nothing is mining here. Okay, so now he's going to go back into making some drones as he needs to. And that is going to create a lull in the game, which will allow Fishy to reestablish his army and at a pretty significant advantage. The only uncomfortable thing for Fishy is it is a 4-base Zerg, but he is a 3-base toss, so that part is good. Still no sign of Lurker. I mean, if this game stabilizes, well, all right, we're going to continue the aggression, but with a High Templar here, that is really, really aggressive, let's be honest. Especially for just one group of Hydra. Alright, so everything is stable. The economy is sort of regenerated now for Napoleon, but with a supply advantage here for Fishy. And it looks like Fishy's going to come over here and expand. When I say with a supply advantage, I mean a big supply advantage. 20 supply advantage is pretty typical for a even PvZ, but this is a 40 supply advantage right now that we're sitting on. But the economy is good, 4-base Zerg, adding the double Evo. We've got 1 Hydra up. I think Protoss is at 2? Yeah, 2. And getting closer to 3. Have we added a double Forge? No, so it's going to be slower upgrades. Zerg will scale pretty nicely with upgrades then as this game goes on. Shuttle goes out. Beautiful Overlord spread, though. So in this lull, Fishy or Napoleon should catch this shuttle. Although I don't see any adjustment of units, so that's interesting. And he hasn't built a Spire. He's building one. Well, let's see. Okay, so the shuttle's kind of waiting here. These Hydra are moving out. But now we're starting to get to this bigger Protoss army here. Alright, we have the Zealot drop. Okay, so the reaction time is good. And the Storm is more or less a whiff. It's going to pull the entire army back of Napoleon. And the shuttle is, it wants the drone transfer. Has he saved a Storm? Yes, but wow. That was a whiff of ages. Interesting choice, but alright, so he gets nothing out of that. But now we're getting to the point where Fishy has this 3-4 control group Protoss army. Some really Fishy's having some major problems collecting his army, some rally issues here for sure. But he's got a large and solid army here, and this becomes more difficult to deal with. Now, of course, the other problem is the army's now about 70 supply ahead. And the Zealot finds his way in here from that shuttle. That's pretty funny that it was able to walk all the way through here over to here. We got some nice unit spread and Overlord spread, so he's going to know where these units are going. A few misrallied Hydras are going to get picked off here. But now we'll see if Napoleon can do anything about this large army. I hope for his sake he's not. I don't see how he's not going to get overrun here, to be honest. It's going to take some miscontrol by Fishy. I mean, this is a beefy army. It's, well, yeah, it's got three Templar. Make that... Well, no, he's going to load up a 2 Zealot shuttle out. Okay, it's going to be distracting, but that is Zealots, right? That's Zealots. Alright, well, here comes the large Protoss. Oh, okay, he did get Lurker. Never mind. Alright, so he might be able to defend here. He's still at a pretty significant supply advantage. A well-controlled attack here from Fishy will probably end him, but it's difficult to control against Lurkers. There's obs in this attack. Let's see how Fishy looks. Should be pulling these Zealots back, bring the Templar forward, or maybe he's just going to run in and just try to go for it. Very aggressive, does split the Zealots onto the Lurkers, and one saving grace here is that there's nothing else here fighting with these Lurkers. Lurkers by themselves die pretty easy. Supported Lurkers incredibly powerful, but unsupported Lurkers not so much. And the fact that this attack has started off like this is not good at all for Napoleon. I mean, he's lost most of his Lurkers. He's basically just lost the game here. His units were just out of position, and a much better attack from Fishy here, who was already a significant advantage. Now he's going to try to walk in here. He might throw down a Storm, but this is very heavily Lurkered up, so it's nice that this base is defended, but the Lurkers are just way too out of position here, and Napoleon can only GG, and Fishy takes a confident game 1, making it look easy. Making it look pretty easy. I mean, you know, there was a point where Fishy was really struggling to get his army, get everything together, and I was getting pretty worried for him. But then he pulled it all together and stabilized quite nicely. And so we will be going into game 2 between Fishy and Napoleon on Roadkill. So spawning in the top position here as our brown Protoss, up 1-0, we have Fishy. And in the bottom position as the purple Zerg, we have Napoleon. Now, I'm curious to see what build both of these players, to be honest, but particularly Fishy, are going to pick. Because Roadkill has a very exposed, very open natural, and from all the games I have seen, both Foreigner and some of the Korean games, no one has been going Forge Expand. No one has felt comfortable with the layout of the natural and the openness and the inability to wall that Roadkill seems to offer. And so we've been seeing some one-base builds. Now, we'll see if Fishy's going to buck that trend. I mean, he's definitely going to build a pylon on the high ground, but that doesn't guarantee a Forge Expand. Lots of options. So we'll see, because, you know, it's big. And it's awkwardly big. If it's big tall-wise, it walls a little better. But, like, Forge, he might go Forge Gateway. I mean, that might actually work. And if this is tight, but we've seen other cases where these skeletons are not tight, so there's so many unknowns. Now, we'll see how well Fishy studied this, and what he's going to do here. Well, at 9, though, 9 says something. 9 says, I'm proxy gating. Fuck this map, I'm proxy gating. So we've got at least a 9 gate. We're probably going to see a... okay, well, we're not going to see 9-9. We're going to see at least a fast forward gate. Now, it's a little fast for gate expand, but he does have the option to put a forge here. But he might also just throw a second gateway out here and bring the gateway aggression. And it is a 9-pool gas opening here for Napoleon, which in a ZVP almost always means we're going to have 9-pool speed. So a bunch of fast lings, and that can be an interesting dynamic here, because you get lings out fast enough to deal with an initial zealot, and going to be very scary for Fishy here, because he is going to be forced into the role, especially with one gate. This is gate expand, so he's going to be forced into the role of defender, and with an open and vulnerable wall, that's going to be scary. So the lings are started, and we should see him mine enough gas and then just pull the drones back off, grab speed, and keep making his lings. And so I don't think Fishy's going to come across the map. If he does, he's batshit insane, in my opinion. Maybe he is, though. Alright, well, that's pretty crazy. He's going to try to, I guess, delay the lings with the Zealot, but there's going to be speed, and the Zealot's going to get surrounded and just die. So he's basically suiciding the Zealot to buy time, and hoping that this and this are tight. Because if either of those are not tight, that should be more or less just insta-loss for Fishy. Nice little pylon block the natural. And more lings, of course, being made for Napoleon. Oh, very good early probe pickoff. And, oh, the Zealot actually slipping by. Oh, or maybe doesn't slip by. I don't know. Maybe Napoleon just knows this and is already coming back here. So we're going to see what's up with this wall here. Now, if this wall is tight, it's not so bad. But if these lings have a path in which they can slip by, it's very concerning. And if it is tight, props to Fishy for finding an excellent wall, because this is a very classic gate expand looking wall. Alright, so lings are looking to surround the Zealot. Will they be able to... Oh, the Zealot is actually probably going to find a spot behind the minerals, which is annoying, although actually... two lings can still tag. It doesn't quite micro against that perfectly. Oh, there we go. There's a nice switch out of the link. Sorry that I can't really show you that. It's blocked by the overlay stuff. Alright, so now we have the lings out, and this appears to be tight, so... I'm holding off on saying bravo, Fishy, but it sure looks good. It sure looks promising. And wow, okay, so Fishy is so confident in his wall here that he's actually just going to make a Nexus. So that's very nice, because remember, Zerg's economy is quite weak. Alright, so Zealots run out. And it does appear to be tight. None of these lings naturally wanted to go through here. Oh, but this is a blunder from Fishy. A huge blunder. A Zealot goes down. And now all the lings are going to get straight into the base, surrounding the Zealot. The cannon is going to go down. And late cannons looks like it might be the undoing for Fishy. He walks out too far. Actually, a Zealot spawns at a very good time. The probe doing some work. And it's actually going to be just enough for Fishy to hold on. Oh man, that was such a perfect time to have that Zealot pop. But now we're going to be dealing with ling aggression, and this might prompt all-in ling aggression here from Napoleon, sensing that he can do something with these opening. He can keep denying these cannons, flooding in lings. He's picking off this Zealot. It's almost dead. Another one is a ways away. Yeah, this is still a very tense position for Fishy, but imagine how this would have gone if he would have gone for cannons before the Nexus. He would have been completely safe. This cannon is obviously denied. He's got a Zealot out, but rallied lings now streaming in from all hatches. Definitely going to go lings for the time being. At best, this should result in an advantage for Napoleon. At worst, Fishy is just going to be making his exit in this game, and right now it's looking like he's going to be making his exit. His Zealots are getting ripped apart here. He's a long ways away from another one. There's already 6 lings. The pylon is going to unpower the gateway here shortly. The probes are being forced to be pulled here, and Napoleon is busy occupying him. He snipes that Zealot. Another Zealot pops. It's insta-surrounded with these Speedlings. And guys, it looks like Napoleon has done it. Fishy says GG, capitalizing on the aggression. And a quick win there for Napoleon over Fishy, which will take us to Game 3. Alright, so, on Sirius. Well, we haven't seen this map played a whole lot yet. A couple games have reached it, but not too many. So we have, spawning in the top position here as our Teal Zerg, we have Fisheye, and in the bottom position as our... Well, I called that completely wrong. Let's try this again. In the top hand position at 12 o'clock, as our Teal Zerg, we have Napoleon. And in our bottom position here at 6 o'clock, as the Green Protoss, we have Fisheye. So let's see what will be the plan here for Fisheye. He actually did find an excellent wall and did a good job, but unfortunately, yeah, he moved out a little too far with the Zealots and got two of them surrounded, and one of them kind of bugged and trapped and took at least half of its health at insta-link shots, and he was opting to delay his cannons to get the Nexus out fast, and between the combination of those two factors, went very, very easily to Fisheye. Or to Napoleon. Blech. Went bad for Fisheye. Alright, so... What? There's not a bait, right? This is a 2-player map, isn't it? Or is it... Oh, it's a 4-player map with mains that are this close? Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, so the bottom main and this main are incredibly close by air. That is a very interesting feature of this map. Alright, so that... I had to look at that. I have not seen too many games on this map yet. I'm trying to remember if... I think... Is this the one? Yeah, we did see at least one game I can think of on this map. There probably have been more, but the game that stands out to me was a game, one of the matches between Yeti and Medino. A pretty decent PvT on this map. We haven't seen a whole lot of games on Casirius. Likebird saying it's Gaia reversed. I never played too much on Gaia. I can kind of picture Gaia, but not exactly. Alright, so the probe is going to arrive here. We're going to bang away at these lings. It's an overpool. It's going to get one pair of lings. Going to get some drones. Nexus is going down. He needs to make a cannon here fairly soon. Probe's a little bit of ways. It's a good thing there weren't more lings made, but it's alright. He's got his cannon started. Lings are a long ways away. This ling might actually get here before this cannon finishes. It's going to be tight. The general rule of thumb is the cannon needs to start right about when the lings pop. So this ling has a bit of a head start, but we can see it's a very long rush distance on this map for this ling. So there's a pretty good chance this cannon's just going to finish before the ling even gets there. And actually, just in case, he's going to pull some probes. The ling actually getting stuck on the drone a little bit. And it's close, but the cannon's going to be morphing in right as that ling arrives. And with the probes pulled here, not going to do anything. Nice reaction there from Napoleon. And the scouting drone's going to turn around. We're getting gas very quickly. Interesting here from Napoleon. Very quick gas. I'm going to glitch a drone around here to take this island-esque third base. Yeah, okay, that explains the high mineral count for sure. The gas is up fast. Okay, so we're going to 4 hatcheries. But one of the hatcheries is at an island, which means any units he makes from this hatchery can't be used to reinforce or fight with. That's kind of an interesting hatchery location. Probably intended to be a bit of a sneaky hatch, so some good preparation work here, using those minerals to glitch and sneaking that drone over. But I'm curious if this means we're going to see Mutalisk play, because, well, if it was a ground-heavy play, taking one of your hatcheries out of production, out of use, is an odd decision. Oh, again, a bit Fishy's not the highest APM player. A bit of a struggle with the probes. So he's a bit in the dark. Now he has been in the main. He has seen that gas was being mined. Now link speed is what he gets first, which is interesting. Oh, never mind. There's a layer over here. So he just morphs the natural layer to keep Fishy a bit in the dark. I'll be watching to see if we get a Hydrogen placed here shortly, or if we're looking at indeed a Muta play. We still don't have any second or third gas to distinguish that it's going to be very heavy Muta play if it were to be Muta. But we also don't have a Hydrogen, so we're definitely getting a Spire. And now, okay, we are grabbing the second gas, which is faster than normal. Stargate coming up for Napoleon, that is definitely good news for him. Especially since he thinks he's against 3-hatch play. I'm sure he's thinking at least a little bit Muta. An Evo Chamber, though. I'm going to wall this natural off a bit. Oh, okay, so he has to cancel something and Suicidal Larva so he can have enough money to get his Spire down ASAPly. And let's see, we're getting Citadel, and we're adding we're adding a few gateways. Citadel, these are interesting gateways. First I was like, what are these gateways doing over here? And then I realized this is just how the main is set up. So we're going up to 3 gates, getting a Citadel. Probably we have Forge spinning, so some Zlot aggression here. Now, is he going to take gas over here, or is he just going to mine minerals? Interesting. Very interesting. Of course, this base might be vulnerable to drop later, depending on how this game plays out. But for the moment, just gassing up is Fishy, loading up on that gas. Getting that Spire out. Going to see a few Scourge, probably some Mutalisks. No Sunken placed yet, and Lings are actually... Okay, never mind, there's an Overlord in position. I was going to say, Lings are very out of position to see a few Zealots going out. And just continuing to pop drones right now, so actually he's not going to hold for Muta. Interesting. Very interesting, actually. He's droning up this base. Corsair should find this pretty soon. So again, I'm very curious about this choice of base location and how it plays out, because it's not really that hidden against a Corsair toss. Now, the first Corsair's out now. Notice he hasn't saved Larva, so I'm not really expecting huge Muta numbers, which makes this whole build very interesting. Now, it looks like he's going to lose an Overlord. Scourge have kind of a long build time for as cheap as they are. Definitely going to lose at least one Overlord. Now, this base has not been scouted yet. It will be kind of funny if it goes unscouted. Trying to get a second Overlord. He's not going to get that. Let's see if he can get this Scourge intercept path right. Oh, it's close. It's not quite there, but sometimes these Scourge can't act. Oh, that's going to do it. Oh, Scourge are so stupid. My God. Oh my God. Still might get it though. Scourge somehow can chase down Corsairs. I don't think they're actually faster, but it's like something to do with the turning, but he's going to escape by the skin of his teeth. Oh no, bad place to park the Scourge. Okay, well he keeps at least one alive to at least take a look around the base and see what's going on. Alright, so Queen's Nest going down, so we're going really fast to Hive. Now that's interesting. Getting upgrades very fast, so we're going to have some Ling heavy play? Heavy crackling play? Remember, of course, this hatch can only be used for drones, which is still weird. He's got 3 gas, maybe ultras. Some kind of, like, fast ultra build? I'm just trying to think of what you're doing here with 3 gas and the fast Hive. It's very interesting. Okay, that's a lot of hatcheries. Like, I'm thinking we're going to see fast ultra Ling from this kind of hatch count. But I don't know. This is very off the book here. This is definitely not standard play. And I mean, looking at this right now, I kind of like this for Napoleon. I mean, if he can get to this Hive with these super fast, really nice upgrades, let's see how quickly he gets another Carapace going to stay on top of those upgrades. I mean, there's going to be +1, but like with these claws upgraded and the extra damage from that, that's going to be a lot of damage. Now the Hydroden is interesting, so that maybe speaks against it. I'm very curious to see what we're going to see. I'm trying to predict this, but I can't figure out the logic. This is sort of now turning into the get everything build. I mean, the fast claws, the fast carapace, the 3 gases, the hatch counts make me think kind of Ultra Ling. I mean, this is a lot of hatches. That's like 7 hatches off of just 3 base, which is more of an Ultra Ling kind of thing. Now we have a kind of scary army, but we are adding some Sunkens. We have Archon Zealot. Well, that's whatever. Carapace is being researched. There's a chance that'll die depending on how much Fishy commits to this attack. Like, if he goes for the Carapace, that'll be whatever. I don't actually think he's scouted this base yet. There is now a sunken here. Oh, Scourgiga! Okay, one connection. Takes down a Corsair. But now here comes this little attack. The Archon is lagging behind. There's a DT in it. That's a pretty solid wall, though. That's too much. He can't even afford to try to take down the Evo Chamber here. Doesn't really see... Actually, he might have seen the Hive. It's close, but a Zealot at the front might have seen that there's a Hive done. And now we're going to look if there's going to be an Ultra Cavern or if this is just going to be a boatload of Lings. He's got so much gas. Okay, so he's getting Lurker, which is interesting. I thought we were just going to see super fast, like, Ultra Ling. That's kind of a throw him off build. I mean, he's adding Templar. He's got a lot of Zealots. And sometimes it can be hard to decide. Like, against a Zerg that just has 3 gas, making Ultra Ling, that means there's going to be very few Defilers. And Dragoons are kind of nice in reasonable numbers against a composition like that. You obviously need the Archons, but the Dragoons have a lot of DPS against Ultras, whereas the Zealots, especially if you're behind on upgrades, the Zealots really become paperweights. Now, of course, making Archon, Dragoon, Templar is very expensive to make, but, you know, he's not in a good position from an upgrade standpoint. Our Corsairs are actually picking up a few Scourge here. Going rapidly into more upgrades. Now, his second attack is about to finish, so he's still going to have, like, an attack window here. But, man, if there were just a few Ultras, I feel like these Zealots with this few Archons would be absolutely terrible. They would just not be able to hurt these damn Ultralisks. And of course, the extra DPS on the Zerglings here as Adrenal is finished is going to be a major issue too. Oh my god, Fishy, no! Fishy loses his Corsairs. So some nice scourging there from Napoleon. Lings coming in, they really wanted the Archon. Well, they haven't gotten him yet. Lots of Lings though, like literally, wow, he's still making a lot of Scourge though. I guess with that much gas though, you know, what are you going to do? And he's actually, oh, he's taking the other base. I didn't even notice that. That's pretty bad. Sorry, guys. He's taking the other base, too. He hasn't gassed it up yet, but that's 4 gas. That's enough to go. I want to see the Ultras. You've got so much gas, man. Lurkers are cool, but, like, with these upgrades, Ultras are going to be strong, and he is a 2-gas Protoss. Which, you know, that means how many Archons are you going to be able to make? Not that many, and if you do make that many Archons, guess what you don't have? Many Templar. So if there's a boatload of Lings and not many Storms, you can't whittle down the Ling count very easily. I feel like this is pretty good for Napoleon right now. I mean, I'm loving these upgrades. He's got his second armor upgrade already done. Oh, he's ahead on armor up. Well, if he starts it, he's ahead on armor upgrades. This is so nice. He's got that second attack about to finish with 0 armor toss. This army is going to be so weak. And did he add a second forge even? Okay, at least he added a second forge in response to this. That's pretty smart. But this army is going to be so weak. God, I just wish there were like 3 or 4 Ultras to tank some damage in here. But he's going for the Defilers instead. Okay, there's the Ultra Cavern. Now, he can't attack this, but this is not super helpful to Fishy because this is gas only, or minerals only. And, like, Zealots are great, but Zealots without Archons are a very piss-poor Protoss army. I mean, there's like 3 Archons in this army. Like, when there's 6 or 7 Ultras here in a sec, because he obviously has the gas to make that. Just yikes. Like, I think we're just going to see Napoleon grab a decent number of Ultralisks here as his cavern finishes, and then just do a big attack at maybe 160, 180 supply. And with this low gas count, it's going to be rough. Now, Fishy's being hilariously defensive right now, which is also not great because Napoleon has like 4 bases. He'll probably take a 5th or a 6th soon. I don't know, maybe even force Protoss's hand that way and catch him out at a non-defensive spot. But just the gas here from Fishy is so drained. Now, he is making a bunch of Archons. He realizes it's already Hive comp, and he's just got to go to that. But there's even going to be Lurkers mixed in here. Like, when Fishy maxes and just sends all of this stuff in, I feel like the composition of Napoleon here is going to be just way superior. Well, he definitely is going to know about this base now if he didn't already. And if he didn't, it's a very sad moment for him, because now he's like, oh my god. Oh my god, he's had this gas the entire time. Fuck. Now, the army size from Fishy looks to be pretty massive. That's one thing that might tilt the battle. Okay, so he's going to start attacking this base, but there's already lurkers here. There's Niduses. The Archons are going to be great for killing the hidden temples. These are going to splash and hit the stacked temples pretty easily. And you're right, it is a very confusing minimap with these colors. It's an odd scheme. So yeah, you need, as you see here, you do have to drop or do this. All right, so we're going to have an attack. Panic Stunkins. We got lurkers behind this. There's not even an obs, though. And of course, you guys can probably imagine, lurkers shred the living daylights out of Zlots. So Zealots are not going to attack into a lurker line efficiently at all. Now we have our 2/2 Superlings here. Protoss does have a first armor upgrade. Did Fishy stay on top of these? He slowed down just a little bit, but still. Very good upgrades where we're one attack ahead. So these Zerglings are hitting heavy with Adrenal, which is just absolutely terrifying. Fishy... actually, wait, Fishy just got 2 armor? Oh, we just got 1 armor. Okay, yeah. So there's going to be another window here soon, although it's going to be a small window, where Zerg is going to have a 2 attack upgrade. Okay, so no ultras have actually been made yet. I guess he wants to get his speed out. Let's see if he saves for ultras now and just goes for one big, like, Han bang. I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's just going to max and then just throw everything at Napoleon. Or maybe he's going to throw everything now, bank while this happens, whittle it down, and then just make a huge switch to ultras after some Archons have died and they can't be easily replenished. But let's see, we have obviously a shitload of Zerg units coming in here. Now it's not quite max, but it's heavy supply, it's a good army, and everything that Fishy has, or Napoleon has, is not concentrated. He doesn't quite see, he can kind of see it on the edges of his vision. Now he's going to probably get a hint. Alright, well, this is actually so good for Napoleon. He's actually going to get to pre-burrow his lurkers. Doesn't even have to run in there. Now storms are being thrown in panic, and now here it comes. Napoleon has basically just been allowed to creep around to the side of the map. I feel like Napoleon has outplayed Fishy pretty badly here, unlike in the previous game. Now here come the lurkers coming forward under Swarm. Remember, these are super powerful Zerglings here with significant... They're equal on the Zealots with upgrade advantage, so it's 3-shot kills for the Zealots on the Lings, and they're 1 attack ahead as well, so they're extremely powerful here. He's actually being very efficient with his attack. He's already whittled down a large number of the Zealots, and behind this he can be banking, switching into Ultralisk. Look at all these lurkers and other units he can still bring with him here. Lurkers moving their way forward. He's in range of the Nexus. Obviously, Fishy's going to lose this base, and he's probably going to be very inefficient now as he wants to save this base, but we can see these Lings are just melting the army. The composition is not the right composition you need to fight these lurkers. The upgrades on the Lings are great. There's an Ultra here, and this, as I thought was going to happen, it appears to be happening, that Fishy is basically just going to melt away to this Zerg army with superior upgrades and a dramatically better composition. The gas difference just being far too much to overcome here. And the jaws of death closing in. Napoleon up huge supply. There's only 2 Archons, though, and with this money, I mean, he can just make 5 or 6 Ultras. And the Lings have better upgrades, and there's no gas. There's just no way Fishy's going to be able to do anything against this. He missed his window 10 minutes ago, and now we are seeing the inevitable outcome of that as Fishy bleeds away in Protoss fashion. He'll defend for a little while, but the end is nigh. A little Zealot counter is obviously going to do nothing against these kind of Lings. He's adding these cannons. I mean, he's fighting, but really what he's doing just doesn't matter. Look at this mini-map. My god. That is just Zerg death. Now the Ultras are even in here. Again, these upgrades are just way too far in Napoleon's advantage, and the Archon count is very low. I mean, if there were 12 or 15 Archons, or, you know, 10 Archons and some Templar, that's a different story. Some Reavers, but he can't afford any of that. He's got 2 gas. 2 gas Protoss versus 4 or 5 gas Zerg. There we go. GG. Napoleon takes a 2-1 win over Fishy. Yeah, I hate to say it, guys, but Fishy lost that one in the early game. And thank you for following Nakoya. Hopefully I said your game right. Said your name right, your game right. Thank you for following. It is much appreciated. And that takes us... So Fishy punches his ticket. He is into the round of 8, into our quarterfinals. And that leaves the rematch, not the rematch, sorry. Let's see here. Wait, that's confusing. Oh, yeah, that leaves Ultraling to play against Fishy. Sorry, I confused myself. Alright, so we're going to have Ultraling versus Fishy. The loser is out of BSL ChoboLeague. The winner moves into the round of 8, into the quarterfinals. So on Circuit Breaker, spawning in the bottom right-hand position as the Red Zerg, we have Ultraling, and in the bottom left-hand position as the Orange Protoss, we have Fisheye. And apparently I have been saying Fisheye sometimes a little bit too much like fishy, or maybe even saying fishy, I don't know. I apologize. I'll try to keep it more towards the fisheye sound rather than the fishy sound, because there's a difference between those two. Zero, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you again for hosting this tournament. Guys, you should all thank Zero. He's a badass. He hosts amazing tours. He puts a lot of work into his content. He's got a great stream. He's a good caster. Nothing but respect for that guy. Give him some love. Alright, so we have the probe going out here, and pylon goes down for Fisheye. Fisheye. Okay, I gotta like think in my head to really say I, and not move that towards E. I mean, it reminds me of like German pronunciations, probably other languages too, but I'm at least a little bit familiar with German, where it's usually the second, if you have EI or IE, it's usually the second one that has the emphasis. So Fisheye goes that same way. Alright, we're gonna have a forge. Looks like a forge. Yeah, we got a forge. That's not a gateway. Man, I don't know. I just can't get over it. I hate to place my forge this way. I want my forge even. I want even rows of cannons. I realize this is like even with the front of the wall, but for some reason that triggers my like OCD placement for beautiful rows of defensive cannons. I realize that if the forge is forward one, it's slightly more snipeable, but I feel like the main thing that influences the snipeability is going to be your cannon placement relative to the forge. Like, if the cannon is right next to the forge, the Hydra can only get so close. So if the forge is over one, yeah, it sticks out a little more, but you can just put your cannons right up against it. So, I don't know. This forge placement drives me crazy. Most people seem to use it. There's probably a legitimate reason why it's better, but I still hate it. I don't like having to like put my rows of cannons back. Is it? I guess maybe it's the fact that if the forge sticks out and the Hydras hold position, like now, depending on where you line up the Hydras, they'll have an inclination to shoot some at the pylon, and it slows the attacking of the forge. Because like the actual snipeability relative to cannons shouldn't vary, but like I guess if you line up a row of Hydras, right? Because you've got a line of cannons, so you got to line up a row of Hydras, and if you do that, then if you position the Hydras down here, if the forge is sticking out, they can probably arc more at the forge. Even though the cannon is just a close, that's probably why it is. So that would make sense. If that made sense, I don't know. I was kind of talking to myself there. Hopefully that made some level of sense. Oh, we got fast link speed though. Oh fuck! I think Fishy's gonna lose this game. I think Fishy is straight boned. He's got he's got a scout, but I don't know. I think he's missed these lings. He doesn't have a probe pull. He's got okay. He's adding a second cannon, but we have link speed. Oh yeah, that looks over. That looks over, or at least heavy damage. Cannon's going to go down. Probes are fighting admirably, though. They're going to slow this down, but yeah, Fishy lost a game like this last time. It looks like he's going to lose a game like this time immediately, and just, yeah, GG. That one, a quick anticlimactic one. And Fishy makes a quick game 1 exit. Woof. Alright, Fishy needs to pull out the good play here on Roadkill. And it was Roadkill that he lost to Lings last time. Let's hope he does not lose to Lings this time. I actually feel like if the game goes a bit longer, Fishy is probably the favored player based on what I've seen from Ultraling, but the early execution of Ultraling was fantastic. Alright, let's get that away. Ah, snap. Okay. So, spawning in the left-hand side of the map at 9 o'clock, down 1-0, elimination point, we have Fishy. And in the top position, looking for a win here to get himself into the round of 8 of BSL ChoboLeague, we have Ultraling. So we'll see here. Fishy, of course, had a very nice gate expand wall in on this position. We'll see what he has in mind for Roadkill at 9 o'clock position. Does he have something effective in mind? Alright, so we got the skeleton here. Although, again, we've seen these skeletons are not always tight. That doesn't guarantee anything. Alright, we have... So he's probably looking to go Forge. It looks like a Forge Expand. Forge and Gate. If the skeleton is tight, then it's great. But who was it? We saw a KSL game on... What map was it? I don't know. I think it was a KSL game where Terran player obviously thought he had a tight wall because of this skeleton, but then Lings just walk right on by. I think it was a game with Lita? Lita and some other Zerg. I can't think of what map it was on, though. Oh, he's going to Gate Expand and then put the Forge in. That's going to be a big wall, though. That's going to take at least 3 Zealots to wall off. So this is a big wall. Very vulnerable to Lings, depending on how this plays out. And guess what it is? Ultraling knows this map is hard to wall on, so knows the Protoss might be 2-gating, might be doing those kind of things, so he's going to make the fast pool along with the gas for some fast Ling speed. I don't think we're going to see one hatch lair. You never know, but I don't think we're going to see that. So Fisheye scouting around here with the probe as the Overlord heads on down, and a drone heading out here. Alright, let's see if he takes some off gas. After this one, this guy should pop off. This guy pops off. So yeah, we're going to see Ling speed. Okay. So the Ling speed, a nice little split too. Doesn't send the Overlord or drones to any mining patches that we're already mining. Sends them to their own specific patches to just ever so optimize that mining efficiency. And in comes the drone scout here of Ultraling. Dun 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 dun. And a Zealot goes out for Fishy, and I don't like this from Fishy. Especially not with this wide of a wall. You know, it's one thing if you can bring one Zealot. Okay, he is going to come back, thank God. Because this Zealot just, in this situation, the Zealot just gets sniped by the fast Lings, and he's got a big wall to defend. And I hope for his sake this is tight. I'm going to be a little sad if this ends up being open and the Lings just run in the bottom side. Well, this is not a good initial attack from Ultraling. A lot of probes are being pulled, though, and okay, it doesn't look like he can wow, okay, so Ultraling, this is starting off great for Fishy. Ultraling is botching the living daylights out of this, trying to even go through here, and this does appear to hold tight. It didn't seem like the AI wanted to divert any Lings around the bottom, and a cannon starts for Fishy. This time he is going to go cannon before Nexus, in part as a result of this tight wall. A few Lings running at this. Oh no, but he does let a few slip in, so that's annoying. And holy shit, what? Alright, hang on. Do I? No, I need Protoss. Okay, so Protoss knows this shit's going on. So, okay. He's got to deal with this, but this is actually a very clever play. The fact that this drone has been allowed to do this is going to become a huge issue, because he has to keep these Zealots here at the wall. There's Lings at the front. He can't just ignore it, but he can't fight okay, well, actually, he's handling this pretty well. Never mind. I missed that there was a cannon there. So, okay, with that cannon there, that's not a bad choice. That's going to be pretty helpful for dealing with that hatchery before any significant amount of creep or sunkens can get up. But we are getting some probe pickoffs here for Ultraling, and it'll be interesting to see if he commits to this hatchery, because he's got the Lings. He can see the cannons in range of it. His hatchery can't actually see the cannon, but his Lings can, and he's getting a lot of probe kills, which is good for him, because it is getting him back in the game economically. And, alright, so this is going to bang away. I think we'll see this canceled. So he does cancel that, but that forces a cannon here. And he gets 3 or 4 drone kills in the mix of that. It becomes a little more distracting. But the downside is he's got a very slow second hatchery, and he doesn't have much else besides these Lings. So I want to say things are looking up here for Fisheye, given how slow this hatch is, and the fact that Ultraling is now switching into whatever, and that these Lings are not going to break this wall. He will eventually need to add a second cannon, though. Because with 3 hatches, if he switches back into Lings, you can break that wall. 1 cannon is just not enough DPS. And the Lings can't come out and fight against 3 hatches rallied Lings. Tech is obviously going to be slow for both players. We're getting some more drones out. We're about to finish this hatchery, and then we're going to see, does he just get more hatcheries to continue all-inning, or does he switch into something a little more standard? Honestly, he's not in the best position. It wouldn't totally shock me if he just continued and he just started pumping Lings again. He may not. Definitely getting a few more drones out now. It might be a switch to Hydras. Lots of possibilities from this point here. Cybercore starts for Fisheye. Obviously, the Cybercore is starting 2 minutes later than it normally would, but given the opening of this game, that's not a big deal. And okay, so he's going to grab a 4th base, and Ultraling is going to switch into something that more or less resembles normal standard-esque play. So a drone coming on out. And just looking for the right opening here. He's going to throw down that Hydralisk Den. So it looks very similar to what we saw in previous games, and kind of actually similar to Napoleon's play, liking to get the gas and then just go straight into 4 or 5 hatch worth of Hydras. But without a Spire, without a super fast layer, Napoleon generally eschewed the fast layer, except in that final game he played. And, okay, well, if you do this is risky, though. With just 1 cannon, too. You know, if you can trap the Zealots at all, fighting 2 Zealots in range of 1 cannon with this melee Lynx, it's still a good trade for the Lynx. The 1 cannon is just not going to add fast enough DPS. And, alright, so we are getting some groove spines here from our Hydras. Zergling's coming on down to the front. Second cannon is up. Got Stargate, but no, nothing started yet. Alright, so a Corsair starts, because he is in the dark. And Hydras are being rallied across. Ooh. This is bad. This is bad for Fishy. He needs like 5 cannons, 6 cannons ASAP. His Templar are a long ways away. We got 4 hatches worth of Hydra being rallied across, and there's only 2 cannons. There's even a lot of Lynx to tank. He's gonna die. He's losing this. His Corsair, he better just freaking add cannons like a madman now. And he is, but is it fast enough? The answer is, I don't think so. You know, because if you think about how this works, this is pretty similar to what Protoss would normally have against a Hydra bust at this time. This is how it usually looks. Protoss usually dies here. Hydra ups are about to be done. Protoss is still a ways away from Templar. So he is adding cannons. 2 cannons is not sufficient, though. I mean, I guess he's waiting on minerals and doesn't want to slow down his tech. Okay, well, the DT is a smart idea, but unfortunately, it's not going to be that helpful. He needs to basically just add cannons with everything he's worth, and a pylon, too, because right now that is a super ultra mega Artosis pylon. It is absolutely the best decision here for Ultraling to target this pylon because of how many cannons it's targeting. If there's 4 cannons, it's debatable, but once there gets to be 5 or 6 on 1 pylon, better to go for the pylon. Because the HP of a pylon is the same as the HP of 3 cannons. So if it's 3 cannons versus a pylon, HPs are the same. That's kind of a cute idea, but... Oh, actually, okay, well, DT's going to slip out. That's going to be annoying. He's continued to add cannons, but he's lost his forge. Okay, did have a second pylon, but it shouldn't be enough. Execution here, well, okay, Ultraling doesn't have his ups yet, so that's a good start for Fishy. Hydra's speed is about to finish. So, good start from Fishy, but we're going to have presumably a lot of rally Hydras. The threat of this DT, though, is actually causing Ultraling to pull back, and that may allow Fishy to live. Wow. So if Fishy does survive this, that is good news for him. Dun da 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 da, but he's like on top of this. This DT is going to walk into... he's not even going to walk into, so smart from Fishy there. Doesn't walk his DT into a death trap. Now Gates coming online, adding a High Templar, which he desperately needs, getting his Robo out. Storm's on the way. I don't think he has leg speed, though. Which is fine, but he's going to need leg speed here pretty soon. DT for now has been denied. 0 kills on that DT. 1 Corsair, so he can't really create openings for Overlords with his Corsairs like he did in that first game. Whoops. Whoops. Does he want to fight this? Yeah, I didn't think so. Alright, leg speed starts now. So still on slow lots. Corsairs being annoying in the main. Overlord there for anti-drop. Starting a carapace upgrade. So Ultraling feeling pretty confident he's ahead, and he definitely is. After having to do all those cannons and ecoing back up, just the 3 or 4 probe kills, the extra cannons, all the stuff from those early lings really paid for themselves and allowed Ultraling to get into a strong position there. Like, unfortunately, having to deal with that hatch in his main, forcing the extra cannon, distracting, was pretty painful for Fishy. Fisheye. Fisheye. I versus E. Okay. Alright, so we have a few more Templar popping here. So we should have enough to be safe for the time being, but Ultraling is busy macroing up, building up a strong economy. And that is going to make him hard to deal with. He's getting that upgrade. He's about to have some lurkers. He's going to double evos for those ups. Little thin on drones here in the main. Actually, he's kind of just... Could send one drone there back. Could send a couple drones. So there's just a little bit of drone saturation issue, but he basically has a solid 6 hatch saturation at 3 bases. Fishy's doing okay here. Doesn't have the greatest probe counts. We are going to have a harass shuttle coming into play as these gates come online. Fishy going up to, what, 7 gateways? But I am liking the position here for Ultraling, especially now with these double evos going and with... what do you call it? Lurkers being made. Especially once you put a few lurkers over here, this base becomes like unattackable. This bridge is long as hell. You just can't send units at it. There's no way to arc anything up. Alright, so, oh, he's even going to get a contain off of the front. Ugh, rough situation here for Fishy. That's going to allow Ultraling to be nice and efficient with his units, having that contain at the front as he takes this base. Now there is that shuttle out on the map somewhere. Where did it go? I'm not sure. Is he trying to clear? Okay, he's trying to clear the path for it. Oh, okay. Let's just see here. Nothing's seen yet. Pretty good arc of vision though. For Ultraling, is he gonna see this shuttle coming? Oh wow, it actually found its way through. I think. Oh wow. All right, so he doesn't see the shuttle until maybe now. DT is dropped. Well, let's see. There's a lot of stuff, at least some stuff going around on the map. How? What? Wow, okay, with the carapace upgrade, the DT doesn't one-shot, so that's a huge deal for Ultraling. The DT is way weaker with this upgrade differential, and it also means there's an alert sound triggered, so this upgrade advantage is wonderful for Ultraling. I mean, had there not been that upgrade advantage, he might not have noticed. We can't say for sure it was the sound that tipped him off. All right, observer out, so 2 or 3 lurkers are going to go down here pretty quickly. Let's see how fast the reactions are from Ultraling. Alright, so we've got assassination here. Are there other Brood War events being streamed right now, Mazur? Maybe there are. I don't know. Alright, so these lurkers are getting picked off. Overlords are going to arrive, though. Going to finish off that DT. And, of course, the correct answer, Mazur, is multi-Twitch. Watch them all. All of the streams. Alright, so we have a bunch of Dragoons moving out here, and a few storms being thrown down. These lurkers are going to go down pretty quickly. They are unsupported. And a good storm on those Hydra, forcing them back. So this is cleared out pretty easily for Fisheye. Well, he needs to bring the ops forward. And then he's going to clear up that contain. Got a lot of Dragoons in this army. Of course, we have the 4th base up here for Ultraling. Oh, that's not secured. He has no lurkers yet at that ramp for defense. We are working on those ups. Currently, 1 there. We got no attack upgrade yet. We got our first attack for Fisheye. Still on 1 forge. Getting that 2nd attack. Status of 2nd armor is, well, not in the works. Alright, so going to be pushed back off the high ground here. I don't think he's going to be able to attack uphill into the high ground, but he's going for it. Although, actually, Ultraling is moving down on the low ground, eating a lot of storms as he does so. Really not much in the way of micro, which means that if Ultraling is going to win this, it's going to be more of a high ground plus army thing, and he is going to win it because he just has a little too much. Just has a little too much, and of course the upgrades are what we consider favorable for Zerg. 1 attack versus 1 even upgrades is usually a nice upgrade position for Zerg. Protoss emphasizes that first attack upgrade, particularly for the Zealot versus Ling situation, and there weren't many of those, but Fishy is pushed back. Unable to break into the hatcheries of Ultraling, but the supplies are not terrible right now. Fishy's at a pretty comfortable supply position, which is a bit of a surprise. I guess it's the lack of droning at this base. And, I mean, let's face it, that attack wasn't as efficiently done by Ultraling as it could have been. He could have just played that defensively on top of the high ground with spread lurkers, but he chose to kind of push the attack on the low ground and attacked into the storm with lurkers. And we all know how much stronger lurkers are if they're previously set up versus if you're using them offensively for burrowing, you know? Alright, and the shuttle swinging around. Ah, True Touch, Arcneonomy. Okay, so we got some of the big boys also streaming. Yeah, you gotta watch them all. How many streams can you watch at once with multi-Twitch? Come on, like multi-twitch on 3 desktop. That's like, oh, well, the shuttle's going to get assassinated. That's like 12 Brood War streams at once at least. I think you can do at least 4 on that. All right, so with the third base now established, Fisheye is going to go ahead and attack up this hill here. And there's not, honestly, that many units from Ultraling. Macro's slipping just a bit at perhaps not the best time. Needs to get those hatcheries producing. But again, this is uphill against lurkers. That's so tough to make work. But there's not that much in the way of storm dodging from Ultraling. And if only there were a few more zealots to buffer this army. And there we go. We do have some reinforcing zealots. The storms are absolutely massive. I feel like Fisheye should just pull back off the high ground and just keep storming this. Yeah, there we go. That's what you want to do, and just keep softening this army up. He needs to pull back, though. His army's starting to get thinned out. And again, he is going to do that. And Ultraling is going to continue to press this attack, looking to maybe snipe off the High Templar, which he does get. And he pulls the lurkers forward here. So extremely aggressive from Ultraling, but the reinforcements from Fisheye are slow. And that's going to result in Fisheye losing most of, or maybe all of, this army. Do we see Hive anywhere? Okay, we do see Hive is done. Do we have Adrenal? Oh, maybe we do. I couldn't see. Checking those upgrades again. We are going to those upgrades. Nothing for the Hydras yet, but we are working on 2-2 for the Lings. So is that a one attack upgrade? Yeah, so that is kind of that nightmare that Fisheye had before. And oh man, actually now that we think about it, guess what situation this is? Fisheye has been here before. Now, last time he was at equal supply. He is ahead in supply here with a little bit more of an army, but he's a 2 gas toss. He is going faster for this base. Actually, he's going to get this base denied though, right? Yeah, these are cracklings. These better be cracklings. These are cracklings. All right, so he's going to get this base denied. Because, actually, wait. Cracklings are so strong, though. All right, so he doesn't quite get this. That's a big hold. That's actually a big hold for Fisheye. Because I was going to say he's going to be back in this nightmare spot of being like a 2 gas toss versus a 3 or 4 gas Zerg. But expanding to a 5th is Ultraling with the upgrade disadvantage too. And switching in Ultra is not many Archons in this composition, which is going to be concerning because the upgrades just aren't that good for Fisheye. You know, he's only got 2-0. He's going to be dealing with Lings here pretty soon that are hitting double damage, and Zerg is basically scaling okay in terms of his armor upgrade too. Long window here where Zerg is going to be on equal armor, which makes the Zealots weak. The low gas means that there are a limit. Oh, can he deny the Nexus? That's a big deal if he can. Freaking Cracklings are so good. Oh my god. Oh my god, Cracklings. All it takes is 4 Cracklings, take off 500 HP because you're 2 seconds late. Such a frustrating unit when they slip into places like that. But very, very nice takedown there for Ultraling. And of course these Ultras are out and they are on their way to becoming Super Ultras. A little way before they have speed, but playing from these kind of upgrades, especially with 2 gas, when you just can't add a boatload of Archons, your army gets so fragile. Your Zealots take forever to kill the Lings. And if you do add Archons, you run low on Storms, which means you can't deal with large Ling numbers, and your Zealots fight them horribly. But if you go for Templar, well then you have no Archons, and you're fighting against Ultras and Lings with no Archons, and we know how well a Gateway army without Archons fights Ultra Ling, and the answer is really piss poor. If it's super Ultra heavy, then Dragoons are beautiful, but wow, this is like the grandfather of an Ultralisk here, just dead in the middle of the map. Ultra Father. And yes, thank you for following. I'm not real. And okay, well, Fishy's pushing out here, and this is a bit of overkill for Fishy here. Although he does kill the lurkers pretty quickly. Now he might just take this fight, but look at all the units streaming in here. No, Fishy's army is about to get murdered, and he's on 3 base. Zerg is going to 5. This is the beginning of the end, especially again with these upgrades here for Fisheye. He needs to be expanding behind this. At least he is trying to do that, but he's sacrificing his entire army to do it. He's got a little bit defending here, but he just has 0 map presence against now about to be a 4 gas Zerg. Still, 4 gases, 5 bases, that's a lot of Zerg, and all this Zerg is about to pummel down Fishy's throat. Fast upgrading Zergs are giving Fishy nightmares here on this map. And yeah, it doesn't look good. Ultra Speed is about to finish, and Ultraling is able to make at least 2 or 3 more of those guys, and he's just heading straight towards his base. Some cracklings on top of it. We're going to have a fight here in the middle, but again, remember, these ultras are very powerful ultras. Now, there's not any lings to support them, so the dragoons are going to do some good damage to the ultra, even with great upgrades. Needs those lings to race in there, but he is macroing up more units behind this, and Fishy is, of course, behind the Zerg in supply as well. And we, like I said, we won't even talk about the upgrades. The Templar maybe even going to get picked off. Well, he does do a good job dancing them out of the storm, keeping those alive. Money going crazy high here for Ultraling. Can drone up these bases, add a few more hatcheries, do whatever he wants. He's got units at all kinds of bases he can start throwing in here now at Fisheye. And, I mean, just look at what Fisheye has. 1 Archon, a few Zealots, a few Dragoons, and a clump of this. I mean, there's so few gas units. There's just, you don't fight Ultralisks effectively without that. Perhaps if he could have gotten a few Archons or a Reaver or something on these bridges that are hard. I mean, those bridges are hard to break. This DT, let's hope it can do something, but it's looking really grim for Fisheye. I'm not seeing too much for how he could turn this game around. Yeah, more bases are just being thrown down everywhere. Armies sneaking around at all positions. So yeah, alright, so a few Overlords flying over the Zerg army here. And those guys are going, or a few Overlords flying over the Protoss army, so those are going to die. But again, this army is completely exposed. We have Ultras running in from all sides, although there's not actually that many Lings streaming down with them right now, and they're fighting a little bit distracted, but look how powerful these guys are. Look how much of this army is dying to like 3 Ultras! That's like 20 or 30 supply. Just these upgrades from these Ultras are just too much. The Protoss army can't touch them, and it evaporates, and now Fisheye is without an army. He's got like 6 offensive units on the map, maybe a few making in the gateways. He is macroing well, but oh man, the stream of Zerg, who now owns almost half the map. This base looks like it's about to fall, and that's going to be it for the gas. And Fishy looks like he is going to be making his exit from BSL, with Ultraling being the one to move on as this base falls. Absolutely no way to save this. There's no gas composition. He knows it. GG. Ultraling punches his ticket to the finals. The upgrades, if you were wondering, well, actually, I guess it goes to 0-0. It was like 3-2 or 2-2 for the Zerg. It was at least, it was like equal armor with also maybe a 2 or 3 Zerg armor attack to armor advantage. We'll look at exactly what it was moments before GG. So yeah, 3 attack. So equal armor, or almost equal armor, really close to being done. It was like this slight window. So 3-shot Zealots, at least 1-shot Archons for Protoss, but 3-shot Zealots, but 2 on the Claws. So these Zerglings are hitting for 7 damage cracklings. I mean, that's, what is that? That's like a 40% more damage than normal, than base against cracklings with no gas units. That's so strong. I think that's a crazy difference. You know, I mean, if you have a billion like Archons in there, like, okay, the Lings will just die. But when it's like heavy on gateway units, ugh. So yeah, that is going to be it for our BSL games. So thank you all for watching that. And of course, congratulations to Ultraling and to Napoleon for punching their ticket to the round of 8. And I am very excited for the round of 8, in large part because that is, I believe, the point in this tournament where you punch your ticket to BSL Pro League for the next season. I believe getting into the round of 4 gets you a seed in Pro League round of 24, BSL Pro League number 6. And yes, I was actually just looking to show those brackets, but I need a full screen capture, which I don't have. So sorry, there's like nothing showing right now. I apologize. There's about to be something showing. We need a full display capture, and then I can show those brackets in their full glory. You guys can see my computer and shit. Alright, so let's go get some Liquipedia action here. Show you guys where we're at. Come down here, Liquipedia, BSL5, ChoboLeague, and oh, do we have update to the bracket here? Maybe not. Oh, Hatchet just linked something in my Twitch chat. I can do it that way. Oh, it's on the actual Bombastic site. Ha, gotcha. Oh, but can you link that one more time? Just in the chat. Like I'm reading chat from my phone, so I can't pull it up on the right side. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. All right, so here we go. In far more sexiness than Liquipedia, we will have round of 8 matchups coming up. Naugrim versus Ultraling. I'm going to be honest, my money is on Naugrim. Naugrim is pretty close to a Pro League Kier Zerg. Had he laddered more, good chance for it. We have Napoleon versus Yeti. Yeti, one of the strongest players we've seen so far in STPL and other things. Napoleon is strong, but Yeti, I'm feeling like my pick is Yeti as the favorite for that match. And then we have Mazur versus Yaj. Yaj is also a guy just on the border of qualifying for that, and it's CVP. Probably going to have to favor Yaj over Mazur. And then we have Nyoken versus Mystique. Again, Nyoken, another one of those top caliber players, so I'm thinking Nyoken. I'm guessing that it's Nyoken, Yaj, Yeti, and Naugrim that are going to punch their tickets to BSL round of 24. And then fighting it out. So that would set up, if that went that way, we'd have a ZVT between Yaj and Nyoken. That would be good. And between Yeti and Naugrim, which would be a rematch. And Naugrim got the better of Yeti earlier on, so yeah, lots of fun coming up. I could go for a Naugrim versus Nyoken finals. I could go for a Yeti versus Yaj finals. Any of those. Just lots of good matchups. We're at the point now where every matchup should start to get pretty decent. So yeah, thanks to everyone for watching. I appreciate it. And that is all we have for today. Look for more BSL coming up here, and I'm probably going to play